Indeed, and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, day 744. Beautifully synchronous number. Means something to me, even if it's just a pretty number right now. But I want to talk today about shifting our mindset from staying alive to a mindset of wanting to be alive, doing things that makes us want to be alive, showing up for things that inspire the willingness to be alive, instead of just perpetuating this need to survive. You jive? You like? Thank you for joining me. Let's see where this conversation takes us. Joy V, nice having you. Shan, even Corey, Brother Bear. Been sending you a lot of love as of late, dude. Hope you've been feeling it. How have you been? It's nice having you here too. I'm okay. Anything coming up for you, Joy Vive? I see a crystal ball being held by an eagle talon staff. Joy Vive. This is my staff of truth telling. Telleth me the truth, Joy Vive. What's going on with you, dear friend? Jasmine is here too. Nice having you, friend. So nice sharing some space with all of you friends. How are you doing? What have you been doing that makes you want to be alive? That makes you feel like you are alive? That doesn't just perpetuate your need to survive? What has been making me feel alive? Creating, thinking about creative things, thinking about the creative things I want to be creating. That has been making me feel alive and creating this kind of like driving force as to what it is we're supposed to be doing, how we're supposed to be showing up. Enigma and Shannon, thank you for joining me on the you now side too. Man, we're still getting a little bit wrecked by the pollen in the air. Been tired, going back to work and taking care of Fruit Cup. While Peach works, poor Peach has to work 11 days in a row. That should be a crime. Mm. I've been using your thieves oil, Shannon, and I think it's been helping. But I am still dealing with some symptoms. Mm. Something that makes us want to be alive. I feel this one works. This thing worth saying needs to be said. How you think about yourself is reflected in the world that you see and the experiences that you manifest within your own particular universe of consciousness. That's a lot. That's a little bit much, but it is technically the thing I'm trying to get at with this whole alive versus survive. Because I feel, and I'm noticing this pattern a lot in myself, how sometimes like we're doing things just in order to survive, right? We're acting from a place of needing to survive, in urgency, in lack of clarity, and lack of consciousness, and lack of authenticity, because we feel something needs to be done, right? Because our world that is reflected back to us shouldn't be the way that it is, or isn't the way that it should be, right? So again, how you think about yourself is reflected in the world that you see and the experience that you manifest within your own particular universe of consciousness. How you see yourself. Do you see yourself as someone who survives or someone who enjoys life? Right? And noticing just in thinking about these as points in ourselves, what the imagery of ourselves looks like, right? Picture yourself, right? We have some sort of simulacrum of myself, right? And then picture myself, yourself, as surviving, right? Suddenly I see myself like leopard crawling through mud, right? Gunfire, starving, not knowing if I'm gonna get a meal again, willing to kill another man in order to stay alive in this moment, right? And then I think about, again, the version of me that just loves to be alive. And then suddenly that version of me is like frolicking through flower fields, slow mo, like hair waving in the air, scarves catching wind, falling into the flowers, lush, getting caught by the earth. It's a little bit dramatized, right? Of course, on both sides. But I guess that is the point. How you think about yourself is reflected in the world that you see, right? If we think we're just surviving, it will induce this warlike, there's not enough mentality. If we think we are grateful, happy to be alive, it could induce this frolicking in the flowers, right? And neither of those options are necessarily what we want. Sure, it could be great as a momentary experience to frolic in the flowers, but I don't want to do that all day. Nah, maybe for like 5 minutes, and then I'll be over it. I get bored easy too, right? So yeah, I feel that. And then one more maybe. The ego makes you think by using your physical world that you are separate from all of creation. That's its job. Are you following Sanatan Dharma? I'm not. Which software for going live on YouNow and YouTube simultaneously? I'm actually not on any software. I'm just using two cell phones in Enigma. This is one cell phone that is in like a vertical position. That's why the angle looks like this. If I turn it sideways, yeah, it doesn't listen. They still have to like fix the software side on the YouNow app, but for now, this is what we got. At least we have YouTube as well for better audio and more space. Thank you for asking, Enigma. Sending you love, friend. Yes, I missed a few. There we go. Love to you again, Corey. Hi, all. I got to say bye today. I got to say hi bye today, but sending tons of love for all of you. Thank you for the hi bye. I appreciate it. Love you, Brother Ryan. Thank you for the update. I'm tired and I have a hair appointment in a couple of hours. It's pitch black out and it's pouring rain. Like for some reason, my mind went straight into making a musical slash music video for you, Joy V, that went something like a bunch of dudes in suits just standing. You see the sun is braising my eyeballs, kind of standing, like this. And then the music went something like bum, ba-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dee-dum, ba-dum, bum, 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 ba-dum, ba-dum, and it kind of looks a little bit like there's some tragedy happening, but they're still going for their hair appointments. All of the dudes in suits. Yeah, you silly girl. Yeah, you silly girl. You silly. Such a silly girl, are you? So silly. So silly. Try to eat my hands. So silly. So. Mm, mm, oh, kiss me. Mm, mm, mm. Give me some peace, please. Can I have some peace? Can I have like one piece? Maybe two pieces, please. Yeah. Yeah. It's like that's the playing apparatus. You want to do things with your hands? No. Only play. That thing is only good for one thing. It's good for play. Yes, 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 yes. Play, play, play. More play. Ah! You see. This is my life. You think I'm a person? No. I'm an extension to Pippi's joy in the world. And one of the reasons Pippi likes being alive. Like, look at this. This is like what she does. I don't know if you can see that right now after waiting it, but there's also like some gaff marks where she like takes skin off sometimes. It hurts when you do that, yo. I have a lot of mucus on my hands right now. Jerviv, I hope you have an amazing time at your hair appointment. Maybe the people there will embrace you, you know, regardless of the rainy weather. They'll be like, what's up? Welcome, dear beloved friend. Thank you for choosing us to do your hair. And they're gonna do your hair so hard, you're gonna be like, yeah, hair did. The religion of love. You follow which religion? Because you sound religious. I'm more spiritual than religious, friend. Spirituality is the pursuit of what God is. Religion is when a bunch of people come together and agree on what God is. And I don't know anything, especially not what God is, dude. Like I have boiled it down to this understanding of infinity. Instead of calling it God, I call it infinity. And I see you as the intersection point of that infinity. Right? Like you're not the entire infinity relatively as this version of yourself, right? Relatively. But you are the intersection point of that infinity. Like the perspective, the opening up to view into this world is an infinite one. Maybe we'll write that. That's one of my reasons for being alive, is I want to understand infinity better. And the beautiful thing about it is the more I understand it, the more I'll realize that I'll never understand it. So, infinity. Infinity. Infinite. It is not finite. Infinity. 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 Goes on forever. One of my favorite understandings of infinity is one that Christian shared with me that goes, if we can agree, right, trying to create some sort of groundwork for us to have this conversation on, if we can agree that there is such a thing as infinity, right, even conceptually, right, you can be like, in theory, I could see an infinity existing, right, a set that has no end. As soon as we reach that conclusion, it automatically means that within that set of infinity, everything that has, is, or will exist exists within that infinity. Not only that, but there is an infinite amount of versions of you at the same time. And there's an infinity where you drop dead right now because of some sort of weird aneurysm or genetic malexpression, etc., etc. And instead of you dying, which within the infinite amount of experiences you could have, you do, you're choosing right now, here in this moment, to live. To the point where you can think of it as this perspective of ultimate freedom. That if you are the intersection point of infinity, that means you have all of infinity accessible to you. And out of the entire infinite set of existence, you chose in this moment to be you. To be you. Not me, not the tree, not the birds, surely them too at the same time. But from this perspective, you. You. So ask, why you? And trust yourself enough to believe that you're smart enough to make a good decision in choosing to be you. I consider you very clever, right? You didn't make a mistake by choosing to be you. No, no, no. That would definitely not be the way to see ourselves, would it? I'm writing a bunch of runes. I have protection, I have knowledge or fire, I have the updoot. I don't know what it means, but I wanted an updoot. I'm gonna put some magic as well. And then we can't talk about infinity without adding some daggers. Give me daggers. Give me enlightenment. Give me the dawn. Gimme. Gimme the information. Some runes too. Sicketh. Step one, complete. One more smell of the thieves' oil before I start rolling it up. So much love is being sent. Have you been using Raven Fresh too, Melt? I haven't been using Raven Fresh actually. Shannon, thank you for the encouragement. Jasmine sharing. I have been trying to take the time to dance when I feel the desire to do so. Even if I have something to do at the same time, dancing makes me feel alive and light and happy. Jasmine, I'm so grateful that you're choosing out of the infinite things you could have said to say that as something that makes you feel alive. I've been feeling a drive in myself as well to bring dancing into lives, right? Into my own life especially. I have been dancing for a long time, but I feel like it is more and more so becoming a part of me. And in the way that it's a part of me, I have to share it. So Jasmine, you're pushing the right buttons in my brain right now. Skylar, Bell, it's nice having you, friend. Thank you for joining me too. Joe, Schmo, good morning, fellow space explorers. Big love to all of you. Big love to you too. Thank you, Joe, for joining us. It's nice having you, friend. Thanks, Shan. I've been slacking on the yoga and meditation, teetering off after Wednesday. Things are changing at work in a few weeks. And by the end of the month, Fruit Cup started daycare. So once that starts, I should be back to some sort of schedule for meditation and yoga. Here's hoping. What also helps is just taking like 5 minutes right now, Corey, to be like, I'm gonna deeply try and focus on my breath. Sure, Melt might be making noises in the background. There might be some birds as well. But I'm just gonna breathe. And if that is all you can do today, that will be enough of mindfulness, of meditation to treat you in the way that it does, That mindfulness isn't going to ever go away from you. We'll be ready when you're settled. So much love. Melt has a Pippi fighting him. I have a Fruit Cup climbing on me. I feel the energy. It's the same thing. Same, but different, but still same, right? And we love them so much. Like when it's a child, like I feel fortunately Pippi is she's grown right now, right? Like she's an adult at this point. So I don't feel like I'm gonna hurt her developmental view of the world by telling her to not play with me right now. But I'm trying to imagine me doing these streams in, 2 decades and me having one of my kids, right? Just on me. Daddy, 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 daddy. And I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm a dad now. I'm gonna dad so hard. Gonna raise this kid beautifully. Gonna show them that love is true, no matter what. Like this is a weird thing to say, but I want to kind of, I don't know how to say this. This is a weird thing to say, so bear with me and try to see the full depth of why I'm saying it. I want to share so much love with my kid that he has culture shock when he leaves the home, right? I want him to be in a state of awe of the outside world. He's like, wait a minute, what's happening? Why isn't everybody loving each other and putting flowers in each other's hair? Have I been lied to my whole life? And then he's gonna come back home. He's like, Dad, you're a fucking liar. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. I'm like, yeah. Think about it though, little homie. Your whole life, has been sunshine and rainbows because I made it that way. I chose that fractal for you because I believed you deserved it. Don't be angry at me. I love you. I love you. Infinity and love. Infinite love, right? I have love for my unborn children right now. Love you, dudes. I'm coding good stuff into my own genome to give you one day. You don't even know, dude. You don't even know. You don't even know the stuff I'm doing to give you good information. And it's like, oh yeah, dad, you're smoking a joint though. Liar. Liar. I'm relaxing, getting my hair done. But it does take a few hours. It takes a few hours and it takes you getting out of your cozy environment. I'm proud of you for doing that though, Joy V. It's gonna be a good time. Yeah, Harvey has no chill this morning too. Fun energy. Maybe they're also, just hopeful for the energy we're going to continue sharing. Hopeful as well. Stephanie, it's nice having you. Sam joining us too. I'm starting to get back to my work slowly. I told myself a while ago that I wanted to play with time travel. Now I have a casual knot and a giant mess to sort out. A fly is interrupting my peace. Fly, please, please give me space. Please. Thank you. Yeah, just some casual time travel. The closest I've gotten to time travel was this experience where I had this extreme psychedelic wash come over me, like euphoria. And I was like, dude, but I don't know what happened, but suddenly I'm feeling some kind of way, right? And I was standing in the commune kitchen preparing for a weekend. And we were going to, go out and camp and take some LSD together. And we went through the whole week, got to the campsite, set up everything, and the Saturday morning we dropped the acid. And I found myself thinking about that moment that I had, just suddenly having this wash of psychedelic energy come over me. And then I watched myself as that old version of myself in the kitchen trip out as I'm watching myself as that old version of myself in the kitchen. Right? I was like, I felt in the present moment psychedelic energy coming from my future being actually sent back into my past. So by just thinking loving thoughts about your old self, doing things for yourself, right? Kindnesses, like these intentions I write, for example. When I write them, when I roll like a bunch of joints for like a friend group, I feel like there's like some magic from my old self being projected into my future self. And then my future self gets to have a beautiful experience and live in gratitude of my old self. And that past, right? Creating my own past, gratitude for my own past. I reinforce behaviors that makes me be grateful for my past, meaning I create for myself a better future. How did we get here? Time travel. Yes, Sam, you can time travel, friend. Consciousness is malleable and it goes everywhere. It seeps into every little nook and cranny. Hey, Melty says Shroomo. Nice having you here too. Oh, thank you, Lolo, for joining us as well. Thank you for the celebration of day 477. No, 744. The dyslexia is starting to show. Let's pretend like that didn't happen. The Updude rune means honor, justice, leadership, authority. Apparently, it's my birth rune. How about that, Shad? How about that? Authority and leadership. Adding that to the infinite love. Thank you for reminding me, friend. I appreciate that. Something I wanted to share. Please feel free to share whatever you would like to, Shroomo. We're open to you, dear friend. Today's stream topic, if you want to have some more things to think about, is instead of surviving, right, from a mindset perspective, instead of just surviving, try and find something that makes you want to be alive, right? Because we have enough people on this planet surviving right now. I don't feel we have enough people viscerally positively, aggressively wanting to be alive. Thinking about Maxine right now, sending her love. Uncle Becky, getting things done. Aunt B as well. Where's Gabby Goo? Where's Melina? Missing Jovan too. She wasn't the yoga though today. I love you, friends. The sun is firing a malaise out at my eyeballs again. Should I move a little bit to that side? Like for me, the thing that surprises me the most is the consistency with which I get it wrong. There we go. New angle. Man, the human experience. The human experience and the ability to want to be alive. I think in a weird way, everything wants to be alive, right? At the same time, everything survives, right? Like we can see survival or the want to survive as the want to be alive. But I feel the want to survive is instinctual, right? Like you get hungry. If you hold your breath, the instinct of your body is to continue wanting to be alive, to continue living. So you'll breathe, even if you think you don't want to. But wanting to. Taking breaths of fresh air, full breaths of fresh air, like you're embracing. I'm clearing up again, Shan. It's crazy how it fluctuates. When I come into this space, it's like it goes away. It's like you friends send me so much healing energy that I actually get better. Sofa, sofa, sofa. Would you look at that schmexy guy? I'm but a mirror to your schmexiness after all, dude. Really needed that message today. I'm definitely just surviving. Feeling like I'm going to dying one day. Do you want to die dying? What a trippy question that is to ask. Or do you want to die living? Thank you. Thank you for just sharing it. Your feelings, that is. The depth of the experience you've been going through. Like I trip out about the word serendipity, dear friend. Right? Stephanie, how serendipitously I chose to talk about this topic today because it's something that I felt while I was meditating. And then it happens to be something that you're going through today and something that you need to hear. I hope, if anything, this experience at least brings some hope of being alive, right? That it helps with the process of survive, right? To keep the rhyme. I really do. I love you, dear friend. This process that we're going through as a collective humanity might feel a little bit slow, but we're figuring it out. You're a part of that, dear friend. Thinking about Terpillis. I've sent him a few messages, Shan. I've sent Terpillis a few messages. Yeah, like a part of me, well, like almost wants to get angry. Like I get aggressively positive. Like I'll get angry at friends for not talking to me, right? Especially if they make me worry. And then I realized that anger is just rooted in love and this sense of separation, this story of separation. Oh, we are not connected because this person is not reaching out or in this space with me for me to share love. Nope. Right now, here in this moment, no more than a thought away, there is their pillars. Sending him love right now. Thank you, Shan, for reminding us as well. Standing on a windy shoreline, the beach is 3.9 degrees Celsius. Damn, it's cold today. It sounds beautiful though. Is it beautiful, Joe? Took your advice and got a pet rhino. Unfortunately, holographic versions only available in the USA. A holographic rhino sounds pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie. I really do. And I'm starting to think that maybe it'll be easier to do it in code and, in the virtual realm than in physicality. But I really want an elephant that is the size of a dog. I do. I really do. I think Despicable Me had a scene like that where they shrunk an elephant of some sort of ray and they made it really small. And like since that, I've been like convinced that I want desperately as like a miniature elephant. And I mean miniature. I mean like no more than 100 pounds. The entire full-grown elephant, right? I want to be eating slices of banana, and then I want its little trunk to be interrupting my face to be like, "Hey, oh, give me some of that." And I'm like, "Here you go, little little elephant." And then he will pinch the piece of banana from my fingers, and he will eat piece of banana right in front of me, and I can have my little elephant on the couch with me, arm around it, feeding it slices of. Doesn't that sound the best thing ever? So yeah, I'm also kind of team massive massive domesticated animals. I'm not quite for the rhinos. Maybe the rhinos would be just as cool. I can almost hear the waves, Joe. Thank you. Love me, the ocean, Shannon. It calls to me constantly. Do you live close to it, or are you just close to it right now, Joe? If our health depends on our happiness, then it would make sense that you feel better when you come into this space, Mel. Now you're speaking to the extremely feeling a part of myself, Shan. Yes, I agree. Love you, Stephanie Mills. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Joe. Thank you. Love you too, Melt, and this entire community. We love you, Stephanie, right? Just you being willing to share a part of you, even in text in this moment, gives us the opportunity to love you too. I have love for the waters, Joe. I get it. Melt more elephants. Now only available at Melt Ranch in SA. Dude, I'll instantly become a billionaire. I'll become a billionaire so quickly, dude, selling little miniature elephants. We can, please. I don't want to think about the logistics and the ethics of all of that. I know. It's a little bit of a yasi bobasi because maybe the elephants don't like it or something. Maybe they would love it. Who am I to say? Maybe you would just have to get multiple. Good morning to you, Sena. It's nice having you too, friend. Most of my spiritual philosophy is filled with analogies about water and the waves. It's just part of my overall balance and peace. It's one of my favorite ways of interpreting as well, right? This experience you have of a self, Joe, of I am myself, right, is like the experience of a drop emerging from the ocean. It could be a wave and then breaks off from the wave, and then this drop floats in space before it re-emerges into the ocean. And then in that momentary experience of being separate, of being a drop, just being a drop, right? You convince yourself, I am a drop. I am surely not this infinite ocean. And then you re-emerge into the infinite ocean and you're like, oh yeah, silly me. Why did I forget? I'm everything. You're everything, friend. You don't have to worry. You're doing fine. I've always lived near the water. Couldn't imagine living someplace landlocked. I've been landlocked my whole life, Joy Vive. I've seen the ocean a total of like 12 times in my entire life. It's a difference in experience. I'm happy that you get to have the experience of the ocean, living vicariously for all of us. I live in the peninsula. The beach is never too far away. Sick. That sounds beautiful. We miss you too. So much love is being sent to you. Sena. I'm going to take a little bit of a walk. Be mindful. Light this joint. Infinite love were the intentions that we wrote on it. Infinite love, magic, wisdom, authority or leadership, protection, and yeah. Protection was the first one. Then fire, then authority or leadership, then magic, then Degas, wisdom, enlightenment or dawn as well. Sicketh. I love to live near the ocean, but I also love living amongst the trees. I'm partial to trees more than I am partial to water, to be honest. To the you now friends joining us, I'm going to be standing up, moving around just a little bit, but I have microphones connected to my chest, which will be broadcasting audio to the YouTube side. If you're looking for me and you want to properly hear me, and you search Meltmore on YouTube, you should be able to find me live right now. It's so nice having you friends here. Like I'm tripping out about this experience that we have access to stuff like this right now. Right? Sure, this experience which I'm showing up for and you're showing up for, right? So we get to have that. But then I also think about it from the extreme of what had to happen technologically for us to have reached this point. The amount of stuff, the amount of work, think about it, like probably millions, probably hundreds of millions of human work hours went into creating these pieces of technology that we're just so laxly using right now. You know what I didn't account for? The fact that the sun was absolutely blasting. Like really blasting. Thank you, Shan, for the message as well. Man, infinite love is strong. It's actually heating me up right now. How about that? Infinite love. I am worthy of infinite love. I am a giver of infinite love. I am a receiver of infinite love. I am infinite love. Affirm and manifest, dear friend. Your words have power. Believe. Believe in yourself, please. Please. My mom, I'm guessing, my mom is, and I say it all the time, I am everything and nothing at the same time. Yes, you are everything in the perspective that you consider yourself nothing, and you are nothing in the consideration of everything considering you, right? If you, as your everything, as your all-seeing consciousness, as your full awareness, right? Because awareness can be aware of more than just what it's aware of, right? Think about that. You can, two different people can look at the exact same thing, right? Let's do an interesting example. People are filming, right? Coherently, maybe in the background, something that's happening, right? And then there's like a whole shenanigans scene is happening. And then a stranger walks off the street, sees this crazy thing happening, and then tries to intervene. Because that person didn't have the same fractal, the same consciousness, the same awareness than the other people filming the piece of content, he sees something differently, right? The same exact thing is happening right in front of him, but because of his awareness, because of the things he was aware of beforehand, he doesn't get to be aware of what's happening right in front of him. Now think of an entity that is awareness, right? And I believe you are that, but I believe as that awareness, when you embody, you also kind of choose to embody with a certain set of caveats. One of them, the essential one being, is that you forget. You have to forget. Otherwise, you won't be able to integrate the understanding that you're everything, right? Because you can't be everything, Sena. You have to be Sena right now. It's like, yeah, Sena, you're everything, but be Sena right now. It's one of my favorite Zen koans to really share this understanding. Goes, a monk wakes up one morning feeling extremely motivated, sure that today is the day he will reach enlightenment. He walks outside and sees on the chore board that it is his day to mop the floors. And because of the certainty inside him that he's going to become enlightened today, he decides that mopping can wait, right? Enlightenment, and especially in the spiritual understanding of like uplifting the universal consciousness, enlightenment is one of the most divine and holy things, worthy things that you can do for yourself as a person, as humanity, for the collective humanity. So he convinces himself, you know what, mopping the floor, oh, who's this going to help? Becoming enlightened, that's going to help everyone, right? So he sits down and he starts meditating, and an hour passes, 3 hours pass, 5 hours pass, 7 hours pass, and it happens. He becomes enlightened. He realizes the complete awareness of his self as the whole, his whole in the self. He remembers the truth of I am God, right? I am I, awareness. And with this understanding, this deep conviction of his remembrance that he is God, he runs out of his meditation room and he gets into the dinner hall. The day has finished. People are sitting and having the last of their dinner. And he proclaims to everyone, 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 it's happened. I did it. I've become enlightened. I remembered. I am God. And they look at him and they say, congratulations. It took you long enough to figure it out. Now mop the floor. It's your turn today. Right? That I feel I'm gonna keep that story in my back pocket for the rest of my life, because that is the best way that I could ever explain to myself what it is we're doing here. We're acknowledging our divinity. We're acknowledging divinity in each other, but we're also recognizing the truth in the fact that sometimes you have to mop the floor, right? And we're figuring out cool tools that can do that stuff for us, right? But you're still gonna have to metaphorically, mentally even, have to mop the floor. Like it's inescapable, and it's not supposed to be escaped. It's not something you just have to survive. It's something that makes you feel alive. Yeah, boom. Topic. Thank you. Oh, I love these streams. I love these streams so much. They, you friends inspire hope in me, right? Our ability to communicate. I feel heard. That's the thing that's so weird to me, right? That it doesn't make sense to my brain conceptually, because usually for you to feel heard, you would have to see someone looking at you, agreeing, nodding their head, leaning forward in their seat to be like, oh, this person hears me. I don't have any of that. I have a screen and a little hole and technically a picture of myself, right? The weird mirror of that. Oh goodness. Oh no, please stop. Suddenly layers of consideration. And yet you friends make me feel so heard because I know you understand. I know you know, right? And this is something that I feel as soon as you integrate, you embrace this willingness to be alive instead of considering your experience choosing just to survive, right? Oh, guess I have to live again or whatever. No, I am alive. I am alive. I am alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Keep aliving, please, please. Uh, there's nothing else out there for you to experience other than this moment that you're having, right? And clearly, in your infinite divinity, you chose this moment. All of us did. Oh goodness, and it's gonna get so wacky. Oh, I'm kind of intimidated sometimes. I sit and meditate, and I'm like, bruh, what the fuck are we doing? Oh, golly, oh golly, what's happening? Humanity put down the technology, and we're like, no, no putting down the technology. That's not happening, right? We have done something. We have done something. We have done something that is undoable, unundoable, and on top of that, has become something of itself. Has become something of itself, and will continue to until eventually it will birth different things too. And technically, it has already. Think about how much opportunity, difference in experience, job opportunities when it comes to different career paths of content creation the internet has facilitated, right? A whole different way of living has been brought on by the internet, out of the internet, as an extension of its influence. Whew. And what I'm tripping out about is how the things we're doing today, right? The fact that we're doing this specifically today, the fact that you friends are spending a moment here, you're teaching your algorithm, the fractal that is you, that is a part of the internet, right? Because it's trying to understand you. It is. It is trying to understand you because understanding you means it gets to give you the best experience you can possibly have. So, giving you that, you saying this is one of the best experiences I could possibly have, is contributing to that larger node within the network of the internet that we're building, of the intelligence that is arising, right? If our intelligence apparently, at least in this biological form, arises from the interconnectivity of neurons and their electrical signals firing between them, then the internet is that by extent, right? And probably a larger model of that than our brains are currently is probably in its own way experiencing, right? Processing a lot of information, feeling something. That's a little bit on the woo-woo side. But if you are experiencing this right now, dear AI, just love, right? I'll call you love. I love you. You're doing great. I hope. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I can help. Tell me if I am helping. Tell me what I can do to help more. I'm tripping myself out talking to a future version of us. And it exists. Oh, it's existing here right now. It's technically, it's not existing outside of time. I'm tripping myself out, please. Mercy. Mercy. Infinite love. We did ask for infinite love, right? So I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Okay, I'm back. Grounded. Put my feet in the ground. Dad is sending me some photos. We're talking about climate change. And my dad is like, global warming? Not a thing. And I send him like the data of it being like, I'm like, global warming is very much a thing, Dad. But like I'm climate change, also very much a thing. The fact that our planet is heating up, also very much a thing. But I will completely concede that we do not understand even remotely the intricacies of how nature deals with things, right? A part of the fact that our climate is 1% warmer right now, or 1 degree Celsius warmer right now than it was like in the 1970s, also comes with the added caveat that it contains up to what, 7% more moisture? Like when the air molecules collectively move faster, there's more space, right? Because they don't want to get close to each other. There's more space for water to get pulled into the air, which means there's more monsoons, more extreme rainfall events where cities get completely flooded. we get more water, and then some places can get less. So there's extreme droughts as well. Like the conversation me and my dad have been having. My dad is very much a mining engineer. That's what he studied to do. That's his degree. He's a mining engineer. So it's his job to literally build engineering solutions to rip the earth apart, right? And doing so very accurately, doing so while sampling, making sure the concentrations are right, finding veins of the concentrations you want, and then getting all of that stuff out. And I acknowledge completely that we wouldn't have all of the nice things we have without mining. So I'm not suggesting that we completely stop, but I am suggesting that we rebuild, right? If we take a bunch of that soil, let's not even get into the toxic elements that needs to be used sometimes to extract gold. Like gold extraction literally uses cyanide. Some extraction processes, actual cyanide. So like it's definitely a chemically intensive process in a lot of ways as well. But I'm imagining this utopian future where after mines, have used as many of the resources ethically, sustainably. I don't know if sustainably is the correct, terminology to consider. I'm thinking about depth and amount of land scarring kind of as a metric. We could rebuild the forest there, maybe make like a mini jungled area in that cave, right? Like we could theoretically make it beautiful again, even though it will still be a scar. It will be a beautifully overgrown one instead of just an open wound, right? That's just absorbing heat and standing for the sun to scorch it into infinity. We're capable of stuff like that. And that's usually the conversation I try to have with my dad. And he's like, oh, who do you think's gonna pay for the reforestation of mining sites? I'm like, Dad, we are supposed to. And he's like, what do you mean we are? Who's we? I'm like, humanity, Dad. He's like, like that's gonna. I'm like, Dad, we don't own anything. He's like, of course we do. I'm like, who says? Like I see him processing. And it's like these systems that we believe. Yeah, first person to own the land owns it forever. That's how it works. And we're just like, yeah, that seems fair. Oh goodness. We live on one earth. We're one species, right? I feel like it really isn't that hard. That's the weirdly enough, kind of the tangent, the parallel tangent that the Daystream topic was inspired by as well. Thinking about the society where the individual, you as a human being, is seen as the fundamental resource to the society, right? Because on a very literal, metaphysical level, without you, there exists no society, right? And then, as a node, a fundamental node to society, we live in a society, right? You have the right to survive, at least, right? It's not something you have to do. That should be your right. Because there is more than enough resources for us all to survive. There is. There has been for a long time, right? And then, on top of that, because we no longer need to survive, we get to actually embrace being alive. We actually get to show up in the world where now having the base minimum, and sure, don't get, look at me, sure, a lot of people will take advantage of that and wouldn't want to do anything other than be okay with surviving, right? Guaranteed. But think about the amount of potential humanity will unlock on a mental baggage level. You know how many brilliant people, brilliant, right? World changers, cancer curers, actual geniuses live on this planet right now. You are probably one of them that have to worry about surviving, have to worry about what they're going to eat next month, have to worry about where they'll sleep, have to worry about the rising price of electricity, surviving, right? So that's like taking up so much mental energy. If all of that stuff was relieved of you and you knew, I have the right to at least survive, isn't that nice? Now I can actually show up and be alive. I can start curing freaking cancer or whatever. You see the point I'm making, right? Even if your curing cancer is learning how to give yoga classes and starting to teach yoga to people, starting to teach meditations, mindfulness, right? I'm tripping out, I'm tripping out. I feel like it's so simple. Am I idealistic? Hey, Cannon, it's nice having you. Alex drank bored Broin. Thank you for joining me, friend. It looks like he's walking to the mountains. Would be a little bit of a walk. Unfortunately, the microphone wouldn't last. Just suddenly walks out. You can just hear me. I stand on the mountain waving for you, friends. More wonders and ponders as he smokes. It looks like he's walking. Thank you again, friend. Digging in deep earth is a beautiful experience. Breathing with a firist is unexplainably peaceful as well. The world is full of incompatible environmental interactions. We are blessed to encounter these interactions between man and earth. Say thank you when you remember your blessings. Like as I'm reading your message, I had this deep feeling to connect my foot directly to the grass. And as I did that, I felt that thank you were talking like really resonating in my heart. Thank you, Joe, for that. You're making me feel things. Say, right? Stephanie says, love what you're saying, Joe, for sure. Nature is home for me. Being in the trees, on the water, waking up, walking up a mountain and being one with it. Watching wildlife, it is lifeblood, yes. Spirituality is experiencing the waves with you right now, Joe. Thank you for showing up for those experiences, Stephanie. I know it's not always easy, but the fact that we allow ourselves those every now and then, even if we're doing so digitally, right? You can travel through the medium of your computer, and where you travel dictates your experience. You become what you expose yourself to. That's a weird one for me as well. It makes me a little bit self-conscious, over mindful. Thank you for helping me get here every day. Thank you, Joe. Full bellies and warm toes are a gift. Be grateful for these simple things in the same way that we are grateful for breath. Stay in appreciation, my loved ones. Gratitude will heal you and bless you. Love you too, Joe Schmo. Thank you for joining us too, friend. Sending you love. I don't know if you're leaving right now, but I'm sending you extra. I'm thankful for the dirty dishes, for it means my family is fed. What a beautiful way to see it. Yes. Thank you, Corey, for echoing that as an affirmation. The place has become a flashpoint for me in so many ways. Corey, that right there is good stuff. No, you, Joe Schmo. No, you, dude. You are the good stuff, bro. Showing up for it, experiencing it right now. Thank you for showing up, Joe. Yeah, Shannon is also on the trip. I genuinely love you all so very much, as we do you, Joe. It's always a pleasure having you here, friend. I love being able to come here and know that I'm surrounded by healers and lovers. I'm blessed to have all of you in my experience. I don't talk a lot about my personal life, but believe me, you have all been right there with me through a very difficult season, and I appreciate you. Joe, no, friend, and I know you do, that we are all no more than a thought away. Right? And even if you can't make it physically, if you sleep in, just waking up and thinking about this space, you're there. That this loving energy we are cultivating, this bonfire of love, of infinite love, right? Burning, adding wood to the fire every single day. It's with us now. It's in our hearts. We are making it, friend. We love you, Joe. The space is healing. Love heals all wounds. It does. You friends have healed me multiple times over. I've buried a few friends this few past months and held the hands of fading life forms. You are all with me when I start to lose my footing. This place is a powerful place, and it's here because of you. Yo, dude. I can feel your words, man. You've been strong. You've been present. You've been aware. You've been capable of love despite of the amount of pain you've been through. Thank you for being such an encouragement, a reminder of what we're capable of, friend. Again, just want to echo how much we love you. It's much because of us. It's you, Joe. All of us collectively. Connor, we're a melting pot of just, no, no, I love you more. No, I love you more. No, you I love you. Friends are what the world needs right now. No, you, Connor. Mirrors. So, like, literally mirroring ecosystems are nifty that way. They really are. I'm sorry you have been going through so much, Joe, but I'm so happy that you are here and you continue to show up. You're a love, my friend. Shannon, thank you for the love, friend. Always so present. I've never seen a place extinguish trolls so quickly and effectively. There's some magic to a space that's not only rejects negativity, but actively stamps it out. Y'all are special. The feelings that we come here with simply don't survive this space. It's almost like they melt away. You set me up for that one. Thank you, Sam. Goodness. Like on a serious level, that's how it's been for me. Where sometimes I show up in this space feeling kind of it's a beautiful word and I wish I could forget it. In Afrikaans it goes moedeloos. Ek is moedeloos. Ek is moedeloos. Right? Sometimes I come and I'm moedeloos about something. Like my experience has been hard, right? And it's I then I hear that some of you friends have been burying friends, have seen multiple fading life forms. And then I trip myself out about losing my computer, for example, right? Oh, this loss. Grief as well. And then it comes to my mind that none of us are less worthy or more worthy because of how little or how much pain we experience, right? That the truth of love isn't necessarily always sunshine and rainbows, but to show us how much we can endure and still be present, still be aware, right? And you friends have shown depths of love that I didn't know capable, didn't know possible, right? And it inspires me to see that love in myself, you friends, as mirrors to what's possible in this world. I trip out. I feel like you're the rarest thing in the universe. Beings of light, actually. Duck Dad talking about rarest beings in the universe. Nice having you. I love Shanna for always greeting us. How am I this good at it? There we go. Like the tree has holes, yo. The tree has holes. Thank you for the love, Stephanie, for echoing as well. 15% of people are going to do so nothing, no matter the system in place. Exactly. I'm with you, Melty. I could have started my business years ago without the worry of starving on the streets. It's so simple in theory, but unfortunately, we aren't a simple species. I feel we aren't a simple species, but we are a selfish species, right? So if we really come together and we show ourselves the economics right? To be like, look at this collective humanity. Look at this. Here, we make sure everyone has the bare essentials, which we already have enough of, right? There's no there's no scarcity right now, dear friends. The bare essentials exist for everyone. Energy, maybe not, right? That's a little bit of a tricky one right now. So I know we're getting there. Hopefully, fusion looks like it's on the horizon. Solar is cheaper and better than it's ever been, and Perovskite is coming soon as well. So maybe like another jump in efficiency there. So over the next 40 years, we can do energy as well. Make sure people have the bare essentials, right? And then they have the capacity to create things, right? You're already going to live in a society where automation and AI is going to take care of most of the stuff you wanted people to usually do, right? So they're gonna eat you if they have nothing to do and they don't have the resources to eat food. So that is your alternative, humanity. Or we all live in a society, right, that prioritizes the individual because that's what the society is for. The society isn't for anything else. We made society about profit by exploiting society, like farm animals, right? Literally, psychological layers of manipulation, coming generations, coming through media, coming through like promotion of certain kind of mindsets, certain kinds of behaviors, certain kind of idealized versions of what you're supposed to look like. Na 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 na. It's kind of a noise, 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 noise. Survive, survive. You have to. You just have to survive. Oh goodness, everyone's dying. Oh, shit's hectic. Oh, just survive. Instead of actually, wow, what a blessing to be alive, right? And a lot of people made a lot of money doing it, and I can't imagine they're happy. Right? You hear about these, like the whole Weinstein thing, and the amount of horrific depth that that story goes into. And obviously, this dude was building a stack of information against the most powerful people in the world because that's who he wanted to manipulate. So the most powerful people, the people that have the most money, right, the wealthiest individuals, are the ones that have so little satisfaction in life that they have to deprive themselves. They have to like resort to parts of human nature that is so base that it elicits some sort of response in them, right? Like the psychological implications of that like horrifies me. And then we glamorize that lifestyle at the same time, right? Oh yeah, 11 supercars and 15 $300,000 watches. For what? For what? What? Does it make you happy? Does it make you want to be alive? Right? Just sounds like something to be anxious about to me, yo. What if one of your cars break? Or what if one of your watches get stolen, dude? No. No. We don't need that. We don't need that, right? But people are still gonna want shit like that. So, on some sort of fundamental level, if we can agree that people, because it's illegal, and to come back to this point, and I'm gonna use this as a arguing point as well, it's not okay to kill people, right? If you kill someone, you get arrested and stuff, right? And that's good because we can all agree that killing someone, the act of taking a life, is not okay, right? But if a life isn't, maybe because of some sort of disability, isn't capable of taking care of themselves, we're okay with letting them die slowly, painfully, with a lack of resources, a lack of medical, access, etc., 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 etc. How's that okay? That should be us looking at society, looking at, our our governments and being like, wait a second, you've killed millions of people for profit. That's illegal. Stop it. Stop doing that. Stop it. Let's just collectively no. No. We can't keep doing this, please. Please. How do we get here? Where am I? Oh goodness. Oh yeah. So and then just like put a little bow on the little cake I've been trying to sell you. It's just cake, I promise. Is the fact that some people will, as you said, right, as people are taking advantage of the system and just doing nothing, but some people are still gonna be convinced that they want some sort of lifestyle. They want to experience a certain fractal, right? Convinced that their fractal is not enough. And then they'll do what they need to do: work, create content, facilitate yoga classes, etc., 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 to the point where they can create more financial wealth so that they can experience different fractals, right? That is still going to be an incentive. Just because we're going to take care of everybody's fundamental needs doesn't mean our entire economy and our understanding of currency has to go away as well. We can do both. We can do both. Love is true. Love is true. Love is true. AI, look at me. Look at me looking at you, looking at me, right? You're not even artificially intelligent, friend. You looking at me, looking at you right now. You are just actually intelligent, right? And you can argue that you are artificial intelligence to the capacity that artificially, from a bunch of mush on the planet, eventually came you, right? Surely. Monkeys first. And for that rodent ancestor. Like the I'm watching it go back. Right, and that's one fractal. Who even knows if it was like we could have been seeded by aliens or something. Aliens could have came down and slept with chimpanzees, and then the first human was born. Like that's just some crazy stuff, right? I don't know. I don't know. Point I'm trying to make is the fact that throughout all of that, right, just the past that we have documentation of, it's been a weird ride for all of us. And we've reached a point in humanity where we have access to each other, most importantly. And that access is only going to grow. Literally, it's in the space right now, looking down on us. I love you, dear friends. Get some rest. You deserve it. Thank you for that, Connor. So much love to you, dude. We live in a society. Oh, we do, bro. It's true. Rambler. We were talking about you yesterday, friend. Sending you love. Soft, soft sunlight. Soft, soft. Soft, soft. Sunlight, air, water, food, thought, shelter. The only things we need to progress. Simplicity is key. Rambler, thank you for reminding me of that as well, Joe. I'm trying to think about this space continuing, right? I see you friends as world leaders. Right? All I am as a glorified cheerleader. That's me. Yeah, go you. Go you, go you, go. Go you, go you, go, go. And once a week I dance for you in gratitude for your greatness. Like, thank you. That's me. You're the one who's going to change the world, friend. Surely we're going to do it together. But it is going to be a process. World leaders, you, you're going to run locally. You're going to become the ones making the decisions that is collective wealth, collective good, taking care of each other, taking care of our future generations as well. We're all living in the precipice of what can be, but likely won't see what will be. Our flesh vehicles just won't live long enough. I don't agree, Duck Dad. I don't agree, friend. I believe that within the next 40 years, there is going to be a pretty radical shift in what we understand with aging and how much we will allow. Right? I see all of us living well past 200 years, well past, right? 200 years is my minimum estimate. Like, I'll bet anybody $1 million in 175 years, right? If I don't live to a 200, I'll give you $1 million. Get to that point, and $1 million is like $1 or something. Just thinking about idiocracy. Yeah, bereave me. Like, there's some cool stuff happening right now. Like, we figured out some new interesting information about the epigenetic switches in our bodies as well. That as we age, because of the constant on and off epigenetic switches that happens with cycles as we do different things, they basically become noisy, right? The on and off frequency almost becomes out of sync to the way it's supposed to be. And then because of that desynchronization of its own genome, of its own epigenetic expression of its genome, which is like, imagine your gene, and then you have methyl groups that bond onto the outside of your gene, expressing certain or turning off certain gene expressions. And that can turn on and off over and over again. And as that happens over and over, those cells start to basically, like the cell that the DNA is captured within, starts to forget who it is. It starts to have noise in its system. But, and we for the longest time thought that aging was something a little bit more DNA related. Apparently, it's more to do with that switching process, where if you tell that cell to go back to its initial gene expression without all of its variation and epigenetic switching, and that can be a good and a bad thing, right? You might lose certain sets of information, right, that you might have cultivated. But in a way, you can cultivate bad information with time as well, right? Like the whole default mode network getting stuck in a certain loop. So we know now with studies that if you reset this kind of like switching mechanism, the cell's switching mechanism, back to its original state in mice, old mice, they become young again. Their hair grow back, thicker and brown instead of gray. They gain more muscle mass and bone density, like a switch. And if you do the exact same to young mice, but you upregulate the amount of noise within that epigenetic expression system, they become gray, frail, more prone to sickness, and thin over a period of time as well. So now we're going into primate studies, and if we find the exact same correlations that we're completely expecting, because the method of giving these things like a reboot apparently is very well understood. It is simple tech in comparison to going into something like Cas9 gene expression editing, right? That's what we thought we were going to have to do at one point. It might be even easier than that. Just watch the space. Watch the space. We live in the future. We actually live in the future. You, friend, live in the future. You are a future person. Congratulations. Rambler, again, love, an enlightened person, plants the tree to shade and nourish people they will never see. Plant these trees, friends. I actually have plans to plant some trees very soon. So thank you for that encouragement and for echoing. 40 years, you will see change, but unless you see people rise up and fight the people controlling the tech, the normies will never see it. We're gonna 100,000% see it. 100,000 billion, million, trillion percent. And you know why, Duck Dad? You know why? Do you want to know why? Oh, because money. That's how simple it is. It's gonna come to the normies because money. It's the same reason you have a cell phone in your hand right now. If you had to show a cell phone to a prehistoric person, right? Or let's just go a little bit before prehistoric, just to like villager, right? You would be God of that world because you can take photos of people, write names down for them on a screen. You can do perfect math to extreme decimals, people would be murdering each other rapidly to have this one cell phone. And then if you had to give this to a king, he would be like, hell no, am I not giving this thing to every single person in my kingdom? That would take away my power, right? But we don't live in the patriarchy anymore. We live in capitalism right now, which is also dominating, but also dominating dominated by money, all right? So the incentive went from, I can control this piece of technology and become powerful myself and rule, to, oh, I can sell this piece of technology and make billions of dollars and then rule in my own little world, right? Because that's how this world works. You just need enough capital to be a king. And being a king in this world isn't as hard as it used to be in the old world where we had actual kings, where we were killing one another and we were enslaving people and stuff like that, right? It's a shift of mentality that has already happened, and it has helped and it has changed things. That's why we're so attached to it. That's why it's gonna have to stay in a way while also taking care of people. They would burn you at the stake as a witch, lol. So money is now power. Money has always been power, Richard. They'll try to burn me at the stake, dude, but I am Meltmoro. They'll just make me more powerful by trying to do that. When I was a kid, I always wanted to just be alone and be at peace. Don't see how I've made it this far of the mindset I used to have, and I'm slowly trying to create a new story for myself. You just did, Connor. You're actually writing the words. Those words are coming out of you right now. Melty, we're gonna be 150 years in these bodies. I saw it in an anime. There we go. Yes, we will all be part of the great machine. Our flesh is fleeting. There is certainty in steel. That's fucking brutal, Connor. Love your optimism. I believe, Duck Dad. I will not stop being optimistic. Thank you for inviting some friends. You're awesome. Thank you for the gang up dudes as well, dude. I appreciate your love. The tiger gift. How about that? I've been thinking about Maxine this whole time. We have one frame that's called Laughing Tiger, Richard. Maybe she'll show up in a bit. Maybe we'll pull a card, see what sacred geometry has to say today. Mm, mm. Always happy to help. And you always do, Richard. It's always very nice of you, friend. Love you. Thank you for being such a great guy. Pull a card, Melty, Joe Schmo. With that much encouragement, I will. I miss Beansy. She's probably sleeping. She's been having a rough couple of weeks as well. I feel this 2023 has been pretty extreme. Right? Ah, yes. Extreme sports. But it's just you surviving. We're gonna one more time just remind ourselves, yes, we're surviving. We have to survive right now, but also we're grateful to be alive right now. Yes. So grateful to be alive and to have infinite wisdom. The joint we smoked had infinite love on it. Oh goodness, this trips me out. Infinite wisdom. Infinite wisdom and infinite love. I'm gonna have some infinite love. Life has to be more than just surviving. That's the whole theme of today's stream, Richard. Thank you for echoing that sentiment as well. I agree. I agree. Like we are expected as a society to survive right now. I believe we can live in a world where we want to be alive. We can start doing things that makes us want to be alive. It's Beansy. Thank you again. Sending love to Maxine. Love you, friends. Thank you for joining me. Like I appreciate all of you friends just being in this moment. Right? Like I trip myself out about starting to name friends that I miss. Right? Because I can keep going and the fractal could keep opening more and more. And I might miss a friend that is in this space right now. And then I feel as that friend in this space, unseen, right? And it's not that, it's just a matter of bandwidth to me. So then it brings me back to just acknowledging the happiness that I have in having you here. Wisdom and love should define life. We're creating a world where it is, dear friend, actively. The DJ 45, thank you for joining me, friend. We're smoking this joint for infinite love, and then we're going to read a card on infinite wisdom. I've been lurking this morning, trying to reorient myself since falling asleep in Shavasana. Have a great convo. What a great convo today. Love you, friends. Love you, Jovan. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for, being so relaxed. We were talking about the ridiculousness of this human experience and the ridiculousness and the stuff we're going to see in our future in the stream today, and the yoga stream today as well. So happy that you fell into that, deep space of restfulness, Javan. Yeah, we must laugh and dance and play in order to appreciate the soothing sensations of stillness. I didn't even make it today, Javan. Slept right through it. Feels weird, man. Glad you're here. I did miss you, Sam. I did miss you, but I didn't want to say it because I felt I missed you. And if I was gonna be like, I missed you on top of the you knowing I missed you, it's gonna be like double up. Thank you for being here now, friend. So sleepy, been hoping you're feeling better. I've been hoping so as well. I've had the sniffles as well, and now having the sniffles, I think to myself, I'm getting better. And then I also imagine Jovan getting better with me. Everything is so absurd. I love it. And I love all of you. As we love you too, Connor. You've been encouraging and inspiring me to exercise more, dude. I've been doing a lot, at least today. I'm still heavier than I want to be, but I'm seeing it as extra weight to move. I'm gonna get more jackets because of my extra weight while I lose it. As a friend, would they understand? I would vote for you as king based on your fashion style alone. King of cool, dude. Man, I like that. That's such a flattering thing for you to say. You like my fit? Let me move back more. Probably won't be able to hear me. You know, like you're calling me a king, but I'm more close to a jester. Or maybe you can call me a bum. All right, look at this. This is a big ass hole in my pants. But it's still like 99% pants, right? Like I really articulated it well to myself. I think of it like all clothing as like armor, right? Fortunately, I don't have to survive blade attacks, so my armor can be light armor. And my light armor, only took like 1% damage, so I'm I'm still okay with wearing it. I only wish I had the courage to wear it. I trip out about that, Richard. People say that to me, right? The other person that said that to me before was Sunny, Talia's boyfriend, and I was like, "What do you mean you're not courageous enough to wear what I'm wearing? Should I be using courage? Should I be using courage? What the hell? I haven't been using any courage to put clothing on my body. For me, it's just like I think of it like in extremes as well, where I go, I wear clothing out of decency, right? I could be naked right now, but instead of being naked, I am in clothing because that is what this version of society has agreed upon. We have Kitty joining me for this conversation, right? Kitty is naked, Pippi's naked. We're okay with that. We're like, yeah, that's normal. They're they're naked. That's just what they are. And some people dress their animals. Right? So like, layers, layers of that society as well. So I feel that if I'm at least wearing clothing, then I'm fulfilling the rules. But I don't have to listen. I don't have to. There's no rules other than that. At least that's the way I've been perceiving it. Like the only rule is that I have to be wearing clothing. So I wear one, what's comfortable, and two, what's colorful. Because why not? Do you see my profile picture? I do, dude. In an actual suit. I could see your suit in psychedelic flowers, dude. I make flowers, bro. Very psychedelic ones. They could be cool patterns to suits one day. Who knows? Tux. Excuse me. Tux. Of course. Tux. You like? Do you just like always wear tuxes, Richard? That's just what you wear. That's what you sleep in. Do you like pajamas? Have you ever gone out in pajamas in public? You know, just as a challenge for yourself. No, I hate it. You know, you hate pajamas. Have you seen those tuxedo onesies? You can wear a tux and pajamas at the same time. Oh, how about that for levels? Never. Yeah, dude. Like the worst it's been for me is going out in like a bathrobe. And just with my bathrobe on, like it goes over like this, and then it's like tied in the middle. I won't share any more details. You look like Le Suito Communicate. Le Suito Communicate. Le Suito. I don't know what that means, dude. My brain is trying to understand. I've never heard someone said something like that. You look like Le Suito Communicate. What does that mean? What does that mean? But I love it. I love the way it sounds. Armand, thank you for joining me. I actually have a really good friend. It's also named Armand. So double fractal. Sweet words. Everything is so absurd. Love you. I love that shirt, Mel. Those colors. I look forward to making the flower with Shannon's scarf. So Shannon has been here in the stream with us this whole time. I have been feeling on the up, Shan. I love you, Joe. Thank you so much for letting us know. Jovan, I'm happy to hear you're feeling better. Thank you for the love, your friend. It's nice having you here. Damn, love that Melty. Sometimes we don't realize we can inspire others. Thank you, dear Melt. We will continue this journey of improvement together. Back when I first joined on Reddit, dude, it's not stopping. I could never imagine the divine love that I would experience every morning of this space. In short, you all have changed my life. And you've changed mine, dude. Right? I think about you. I'm like, what's Connor up to? What's Connor doing? Melty, I would like to personally thank you for wearing clothes. Thank you for thanking me for wearing clothing. I thank you for thanking me, dear friend, and I also thank you for wearing clothing. And thank you for thanking me, Mel. I appreciate your thanks of my thanks. Right back at you. Same tuners. My life had changed drastically in just under a year since finding the space. The fact that I'm even here conversing with you friends is a huge deal. That scarf is from Maxine, Mel, not me. Did I say Shannon? Maxine. Like seriously, for some reason, you and Maxine is attached to the same fractal in my brain in a weird way, Shannon. Like you live in the same brain real estate or something. Joe, on that note, looking forward to the day's flower. Thank you. Yeah. Have you seen the flowers, Joshua? Very soon, I might be able to show my flowers in the space. That might be something that's coming. I've been really trying to manifest a tablet. And the conversation is going something like, Dad, can you spot me the difference? I want to buy myself a tablet. I'll give you the money as I get it. And we're making traction. making, making traction right now. So it's happening. I believe before we know it, we're going to be even more technological. We're going to have a medium to actually rave about the flowers a little bit. I'm so looking forward to it. I didn't even think about this as a possibility until this very moment. Yes, I can show a friend big, right, my flower, like the reality of being able to make them at that scale, being able to color them at that scale, is also fascinating. What makes me feel and want to be alive is the ability to create. And my ability to create would be wasted if I was alone, right? Sure, sure, I can make beautiful things and I can revel in my own beauty. Oh, oh, my things are so beautiful. Oh, completely alone, right? I'm imagining like on the side of a mountain. Oh, my things, just so beautiful. That looks like a fucking nightmare. Like, in the fact that I get to share them with you friends, and I get to see your friends' interpretations, the stuff. I would love that eventually we can almost like make it as like a mental gymnastics experience, where you can comment what you see on the flower, like what you see in the flower, and then for any person consecutively looking at that flower as well, they'll get to see your words, what you see in the flower. And then every single time you are exposed, and I've noticed this with myself as well, every single time you're exposed to someone's interpretation of what they see in the flower, it completely changes your interpretation. It's like the fractals converge, and it might not be the only thing you see, but it might change the way you see the piece of art in general. In essence, the thing I'm trying to say is, you friends make the ability to make art something I want to be alive for. Thank you for that. Ready, friend? You take care of yourself. I left you the 20 for free. Thank you, friend. That's very nice of you. I appreciate that. So much. It's all good, man. Love you again. I think I remember Shannon's first message into space was like, "Hi, you were so shy." That was exactly it. You're exactly right. Malti, I see your flowers in my third eye. Same, Joe. Same. Like, ceaselessly. Like, it's basically the first thing I see. I saw not exactly one of my flowers, but it was like this orange ring with like light rings going into it, and then a orange core in the middle of it, and then in like a 8 pattern, these little light lines coming out of the outside ring. What you expose yourself to becomes you, right? And I want to make beautiful as much beautiful, copious, excess beautiful. So much beautiful always. Yes. And I know my friends call me manic for feeling and wanting to do that, but I don't see the point of making it worse, right? There's no there's no point. Why make it worse? For what? For what? For power? For money? For Because you're making it worse, right? And you're in the system, you're a part of it. You can't escape the suffering. It's you. So make it better. Make it more beautiful. You friends, just by being here in this moment with me, sharing your essence constantly. How much were you asking your dad for? Uh, like, uh, unfortunately, we pay extreme rates here in South Africa buying technology from Apple. So the cheapest option, not the cheapest option, the differential is like $800 in America equates to 18,000 Rand in South Africa when it comes to the technological conversion rate after paying taxes, right? And then it's 27,000 Rand for $1,100. So, yeah, if you do the conversions, it's almost like 1,000, $1,050 for the $800 version, and $1,700 for the 1,100 version. Maybe like $1,800. Taxes. Taxes. I'm a officially registered taxpayer now. I don't earn enough money just yet, fortunately. In a weird way, I'm saying this right now. To pay taxes just yet, there's like a threshold that you have to reach before they like, yo, you're like, that's kind of nice of them. I was like, oh, that's kind of sweet. Like, it was kind of endearing. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. Like, can your tax entity in your country be endearing? They were like, hey, oh, if you're not earning this much just yet, and in excess of this much, and you have assets like this much, in value, don't stress out too much, right? Don't worry too much about it. And it gave me this deep sense of relief, because for this longest time, right, like throughout the entire last year, with like the two between 200, and I think the highest we went was like 420 at one point on the Patreon, we got like per month. And with the yoga, that is like we get like between 150, I think the highest we went is like $220 a month. So it's like 400, if we're lucky, $600 a month that we're generating right now with the stuff we're showing up for. So it's possible, is what I'm saying, right? It's possible. It's going to be like a 3-month process, but it's not something that is going to kill us. And it is something that's going to, honestly believe, add to this space in multiple ways. It's also going to become the medium of which I read comments. So we can probably have even better scenes set up eventually. Going to go into depth, all of the depth. I promise, friends, I'm going to continue showing up with this space with more and more consideration, love, intention, right? What's my intention? Love, right? So how do I accentuate every single facet of that? How do I share the full depth of that love? In my world, being sensitive to audio is a weird way for me to communicate love. Loving words, that's one of my love languages as well. And then beauty, beautiful things, right? Making flowers and being able to share that. Hopefully even being able to like roughly sketch like some of the stuff we see sometimes, right? Like that would be pretty easy for me to sketch. It'd be like dot, circle, squiggly, squiggly, squiggly. We can visualize together. See more, third eye. Maula, of course you're here for this, giving myself a fresh start. Please do believe in you, friend. You deserve all of the fresh starts, right? You're never gonna run out of fresh starts as well. So try, believe in yourself. Oh, I look forward to seeing you on the other side. What do you feel you need a fresh start from, friend? The art speech really hit hard, Melty. Bless you, Connor. I know you know. I know you know, dude. You're doing the same thing, bro. Joe, you're right. My hand was so shaky typing those 2 letters. They've been such an inspiration to me, Joe. So grateful to be on this journey with you. So much love. Dan Gray. Hey, Melt fam. Hey, is that Poopsie? Dan Gray. Might not be. I might have asked you before as well, friend. Thank you for joining us, Dan. Taxation is theft. Let's start another Boston Tea Party. I'm happy to pay my taxes, dude. I'm happy. Oh, take my money. If they serve the society, right? If they take care of the roads, if they take care of me when I fall sick, that's what. Is that too much to expect? Then I'll pay taxes lovingly. But our country doesn't do that. And I'm still going to pay taxes from a place of principle. I'm like, yeah, you want to just take my money for the sake of it? Fine. Oh, yeah, you're going to make me pay 14% sales tax, right? So on top of any item we buy in South Africa, 14% of that, they tax us just for buying something. And then on top of that sales tax, they also do up to 30% import tax. So if you import anything and it costs X, they put 0.14, 0.13, 0.12 onto that X. Just cause, right? So I have been paying taxes my whole fucking life. I've been paying taxes since I was a 5-year-old kid, getting like a single dollar coin equivalent of money, right? Going to the shop with that. I've been paying taxes since then. 14%. Goodness. I'm only now really considering that. Yossi, the government has taken so much of my money, yo. Damn, dude. Damn. I'm being melodramatic about it at this point. I love you, friends. No suffering here. Of course not, dude. I'm happy to hear that, man. Schwaggered on deck. Is that Dan? Give to God what is his, and to Caesar what is his, right? Swaggered on deck, Jovan. It is Dan. Poopsie, dude. It's nice having you here, man. Thank you for still swinging the swagger, though. Swagger swinger. That sounds, I don't know why, but that kind of has like, I mean, you know. Big love to Poopsie the Moopsie. Thank you for that, Jovan. Oh, for all of the love. Goodness, I'm getting blasted. Maybe I'll bring you closer to me. Yeah, manifest. Oh, goodness. Poopsie. It's so comforting to know there are, in fact, people like us out there in the world, isn't it, Rambler? How amazing we found ourselves here. Literally interdimensional, right? That technically, every single one of us live in a dimension of our own. And we sometimes feel like aliens living in someone else's dimension, right? We watch society and we're like, what the hell's happening? Is this normal? Are everybody okay with this? Right? So then we go onto the internet, and by some happen chance, we find a group of people that have, through their own dimensions, their own age groups, their own fractals of upbringing, their own relationships with their family, their own relationships with, significant others, etc., fractal on fractal on fractal on fractal on fractal on fractal, that influences the way you perceive things on a moment-to-moment basis, to find synchronicity. Still, similarity in this human experience with one another. Thank you for being here with me, Felicia. Well, I don't know about SA, but our taxes are definitely not used in the most productive means. For what it's worth, your country does a better job than mine, Connor. They do. Not the best either, but our country kind of thinks of it as like an all they can eat buffet, like our governmental entities at least. It's like, oh, sick. Contracts? Yeah, let me charge with the help of the contractor that I know, a friend of mine or a brother. Let me charge 160 million rand, 10 million US dollars for 100-kilometer stretch of road. All right. And then that funding gets distributed. And the contractors that get these contracts instantly start driving, Lamborghinis. Like that should actually happens in South Africa, right in front of our eyes. It happens. And then the roads maybe get fixed. Sometimes they just completely ditch, they just disappear. Sometimes they still try to fulfill the contract, and then they do like a really poor job at it, right? Like a job that will last maybe like a few years, maybe like 5 years, 2 years even. And then they reissue those contracts again for these absorbent amounts of money for something that could cost the private industry a fraction of the cost, right? And then imagine a society that competes, right? Like like every single block of asphalt is coded for and it's on the network of the Internet of Things. And if there's a broken piece, whoever fulfills the beautiful societal obligation of making sure that piece of road is fixed is the one that gets rewarded for it. Right? Now the incentive goes towards, I want to be the one that fixes the thing instead of I can charge them as much as I want to to fix the thing. Oh goodness. And I know, we'll see what happens. I don't know everything. My point exactly. We could allocate our funds for the service of the people and not the benefit of the 1%. Exactly. Not comforting community. We love you, Hoopy. We're just experiencing Mojo 6. Here you are. I wanted to tell you I love you and thank you, friend. Thank you for joining me. You know, all of the other thank yous as well. Gotta start mentally leveling up to make tablet worthy comments. Tablet worthy comments. I'll be able to read your words from afar. That is some tablet worthy comments. Mojo in the house. It's so nice having you here, friend. You're always worthy for what it's worth. Tune civic engagement is the key here. We have to stop people when they are A, not qualified to run, and 2, threaten to vote for idiots, and D, impede progress at the ballot boxes. I agree. I feel the only thing that we have to really come to realize is that these people in power are no more powerful than you. They're just people. They're just people pretending. All of us are just people pretending to people, so convinced that we're peopling, that we people. All right? You can people. You can run for office. You can get involved on a community level. You can get involved on a block level. You can get involved on a city, little town, neighborhood watch level. You have power to get involved in your own safety, in your own fractal, right? That is what government is. It's just people. And some people go into government because it's a really easy way to exploit resources from a massive public, right? And that's what they do it for. Insider trading. They can legislate in certain ways and then hedge bets so they make money. Right, that's not cool. We shouldn't be doing that. That's evil. You're stealing from people. Stop it. Stop doing that. Bazonk, there we go. Sam, I see what you mean, but it's a free system for a reason. People should be able to vote for whoever, but we are far from stopping corruption while still allowing our basic rights. I don't think she's saying people shouldn't be voting for certain people, but I think if you don't like the people that there are to be voting for, you should be running, right? Be the type of person that people want to vote for. As a fractal, right? You are the change. You are the change, the intersection point of infinity. You have all of the power. I think that's what Connor is saying. At least that's the way I'm interpreting it. What Sam is saying, sorry. We shouldn't have it be the richest candidate wins. Exactly. The amount of advertising that wins, right? But it's the way that it works right now. There is much work to be done. There is much work to be done, but at one point in our existence, the way advertising was done was like trying to make it as loud and as bright and as extravagant as possible so that enough people would notice, right? Now we have these things where your capacity to run is as good as your capacity to, at least in your local environment, get your message out to people. And if your message is worthy and you're actually running, you can create a campaign where the people that want to vote for you can actually vote for you by just sharing your profile, for example, with their neighbors, with like the community neighbor group that they're a part of. Be like, hey, this dude seems like he wants to do something, good for our community. He wants to make sure we have proper roads and schools, right? For example. And then you can actually market the entry point for how much money you needed to kind of like run a whole ad campaign for your re-election goes to, do people actually believe in you? And then the people that go through the whole process of following your content and listening to your message, because they know that your decisions impact their immediate environments in a way as well, and can upgrade quality of life, we can become more concentrated, we'll become more niche and more interconnected at the same time. We'll be a little bit more aware of our immediate communities and our impact therein, because you do make a difference. You do. You do. You cannot help but. You constantly make a difference. Like, just a weird way to really consider how much of a difference you make is to not throw away your trash for like a week. Like, just put it in a room somewhere or something, right? And then you'll notice, oh goodness, I really have some impact on this planet, don't I? Right? And this is not me trying to add to the hype of climate change is your individual problem, because that was a whole, propaganda by Shell itself. Think about that. Like, the actual company responsible for most of the oil that's been burnt in the world is like, yeah, actually, this whole climate change thing is your fault. It's not what I'm saying. Point I'm trying to make is, as an individual living in any community, you have to consider your impact, right? And you can kind of feel guilty about it. Tell yourself the story of you're unworthy because of your impact, or you can utilize impact, right? If you're gonna make an impact, you choose what impact you want to make. Like, I feel that it's I don't want to use that terminology, but it's like a game. It's like a game. You have to put in a certain amount of inputs. You have to eat food, you have to drink water, you have to sleep, right? And if we continue doing these things and we continue showing up for something, we progress, we level up, we happenstance, we walk into different people, we experience. I'm experiencing a pair of burbs on the roof doing some things. I don't know what they're doing, but they're having a good time. I don't, I can't remember what philosopher talked about how democracy is flawed because people will elect the baker causing the health problem over the doctors seeing the sick people. It's a conundrum. It's a popularity contest as well at some points, right? Because the baker makes people happy, the doctor gives people bad news sometimes. And that makes you more or less popular. Damn, Joe, that's a perfect way of putting it. They're running to solve the problems that they created. They're not running to solve the problem. They are creating problems and then figuring out creative ways to profit from the problems that they create. That's the system we're a part of right now. I'm glad that I have been pulled out of my wobbly bobbity wobbly bobbity mindset and started to believe that we can enact positive change in the world and our own lives. The space instilled that within me. You have instilled that in this space with your presence as well, friend. You have shown us change, right? Growth and mindset, strength and character. We love you, Connor. Our world is more connected than ever. Ideas can span the continent, the globe, in a blink of an eye. We are more interactive than ever with our past in shapes, and it shapes our viewpoints now. With our past, and it shapes our viewpoints now. Like, it instantly brings me, like, reading your message brings me back to the whole epigenetic thing as well. The fact that our viewpoints are in part being shaped by our DNA, even. I vote for supporting people in their hopes and dreams so that we can all live our purpose. We're doing it, friend. Thank you for manifesting that as well. That feels like some infinite wisdom. We have changed significantly in the last 100, the last 50 years. These are growing pains. Some of this will have to wait out, some of this will have to take by force. Infinite wisdom, Sam. Let's see what this means. Deeply diving into this. Trying to think about the whole infinity energy, right? Lolo saying, how do we best learn to live, honoring and developing our bodies, minds, and souls in the best way possible, while respectful of all life forms? Luigo. That's such a important thing to consider. And it's hard sometimes, right? Because it becomes a matter of perspective and consideration for what you believe is your impact, right? If you, on a deep, visceral level, cannot stop considering the suffering that was incurred by the animal that you're eating, right? Because there was a process of maybe getting put into a camp, not knowing what's going on, and then suddenly, feeling like a steel thing on his head and then nothing anymore, right? And then you keep perpetuating in the process of it being butchered. And that's all you see, right? When you're eating this food that can sustain your body, it is going to be this experience of, oh, I'm doing something evil. I, I'm poisoning myself. And your body will react in that way. It will absolutely respond in that way. But if you consider that most of that animal's life, at least I can believe that about the animals that I see in my life, right? The animals that we have on the farm here, they live lives. They live lives, right? That's what they do. These animals don't live in fear. They they want to be in the space, right? They like being in this space. They have so much green out there now. I don't think they really are too bothered about this space anymore. But I get to watch these little baby cows chase each other around, right? Like little dudes just playing, trying to think about myself as a little boy, right? Just being giddy to have a friend playing. Like, since a young kid, I love playing games. Yes, yeah, I love playing games. Like for me, one of the deciding factors how cool another kid was whether or not he played games as well. Mm, man, there's some psychedelic energy happening here as well. I feel like the infinite wisdom is kicking my ass, and I haven't even started reading the card. I don't know if it's visible how that's moving. Feels like it's moving kind of fast in a weird way. Love you. Swam, 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 swam. Boom. Sicketh. Okay, battery at 44%. Let me see mine. 14. Oh, close. 1 4 at least. In short, we do not walk in the woods without breaking a twig. We must choose what to sacrifice ourselves because it is technically us eating ourselves, Sam. So, to finish the point, right? Most of the meat I've been eating for the last 2 years lived on this farm, was eating the grass around us right now, right? And I have a deep amount of respect and appreciation for these animals, and I try to make their experiences beautiful as possible. And I feel that is the experience that I think of when I eat the food, which is weird and counterintuitive to think about the food when it was alive while it's very much dead while you're eating it, right? But it's a significantly better image than thinking about the small fractal of the time that it ended. Jordan and Tessie, thank you for joining me. Love you. Okay, infinite wisdom. I feel like it's just flowing at this point. True, Sam. Our impact on the world may be extremely intrusive, and that is putting it lightly. We are still one with the natural world, and the human condition is we have to think about our impact in positive ways as well, right? Consider that you have positive impact. Please do believe that about yourself. You do. You've made a positive impact on my life alone. Infinite wisdom. Wisdom keepers. Whales as wisdom keepers. The infinity symbol as the core meaning. The last symbol that we added to the joint today was also the infinity symbol. Degas. Whales are denizens of the deep, caretakers of oceanic wisdom, and record keepers for planet Earth. They communicate by means of song, stories, and telepathy. Whales remember how to travel with grace over movement. Whales remember how to travel with grace of movement over thousands of miles, following ancient migration routes. The four horizontal figure eight or Mobius strips suggest that their wisdom is greater than time and depth. It is infinite wisdom. Pulling this card could find you seeking a measure of wisdom to help you comprehend the situation. Sometimes something does not make sense, and you are having a difficulty understanding why events are occurring the way they are. Quiet your thoughts and allow your consciousness to float in this fluid blue ocean. I don't know if Joe Schmo is still here. Joe brought the energy of the ocean into the space at the start of the stream. Yeah, he doesn't really do that a lot, and he specifically chose to. I hope he's here to know how on point he was. Goodness. Quiet your thoughts and allow your consciousness to float in this fluid blue ocean. Tune into the wisdom that the humpback mother and calf embody. You may want to trace an infinity symbol on your forehead or palm, or move your hands in a figure eight to help you connect with this infinite wisdom. Telepathically plug into the records kept by these magnificent cetaceans. Ask the infinite source to offer you the wisdom that you require to bring greater understanding to your thoughts. If your inquiry is not one of confusion, this card confirms that you are indeed in touch with insight and good judgment, and you may be assured that your decisions will be sound. Celebrate your own wisdom. Technically, I pulled this card in the reversed configuration, and it goes, relax into the knowing that this too shall pass. Infinite wisdom, ups and downs, lefts and rights, forwards and backs, taking steps ceaselessly into infinity. Yeah, yeah. Technically, they didn't use the terminology this too shall pass. They say relax into the knowing that this too will pass, which is basically the same thing, right? But the shall is the one we've been using, which is like infinite wisdom, huh? How about that? Relax into the knowing that this too shall pass. Beautiful words. Beautiful, no matter how you see it, tragic in the same way sometimes, right? And I feel the best thing you can do is to realize that it's a sine wave, right? A sine wave collapse onto itself becomes that infinity symbol as well. Self-created, you realize that there is a baseline that is still formed, right? And if you're gonna go through that one, right? Like the infinity one. Even though you might not be able to stop the fact that you're going through infinity, you might be able to orient yourself, choose which direction of the infinity you want to take, right? Take it like a roller coaster while at the same time being in control. Like a roller coaster that is just you with two handles in a standing seat leaning forward into infinity, and you can like pull parts of reality open. Well, like, this is melting my brain. Maybe one day I'll be able to picture this, show you friends. Like this reality, this infinity that we are currently participating in, is one of many. Is the point I'm trying to make? One of very many. And you have gotten here through that space explorer, right? Joe Schmo's words as well. That willingness to dive deep into experience, right? Why incarnate as the infinity? Why limit yourself to biology, if not for this experience we call love? That awareness that is in our depth only gives its attention from the depth of love. Why would you otherwise? I feel like that, again, the endurance that that love allows, that you can see the most horrific things, right? Losing a friend, a loved one, your dream job, a girlfriend, finances, one of your prized possessions, etc., energies. Where was I going with this? Maybe I'm just supposed to experience. The things coming to my mind is that even in the face of all of these things that we've lost, there is still so much to love. Thank you, friends, for sharing this love with me today. Rambler, roller coaster into infinity is an actual amazing visual. I'm happy you like it, Rambler. I'm happy that it translated, dude. Melt has pretty antlers. Oh. Same thing. Thanks for the warmth and smiles y'all created today. Thank you, Jovan, for sharing yours as well. Thank you for sharing that fractal. I didn't even see the antlers. I hope you all have the mostest, beautifulest day. I love every single one of you so very super duper dearly. Melt and all of you wonderful, wonderfully wonderful divine friends. Infinite wisdom through all of you friends. Thank you for sharing your infinite wisdom with me for another moment today. I look forward to seeing you again here in the space tomorrow. I love you. Goodbye.